Hi everybody, Kirk Cross here with Olathe Ford RV Center out in beautiful Gardner, Kansas. Today we're going to be doing a walk around on the A-Class 31BH. So we're going to do a full walkthrough on this unit for you and let you know kind of what it takes to take this baby out on the road. First off, we're going to talk here about our TV. We've got an outside TV. We've got 3 TVs on this coach, and they all have their own remote. They are smart TVs, so if you bring your hotspot on your phone, you're able to stream and pick up your Hulu, Netflix, Prime passwords, all that together. Down below, we've got your current storage along with your ladder that we'll talk about a little bit later when we're on the inside, but that's for the bunk up over the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and that'll get folks up into those beds up there. Tires and everything have all been checked on our units for good safety measures. We've also got what they call blinker cameras on this coach. So when you turn on the right turn signal, you'll see a view down on the monitor on the right side. Same on the left. And of course, you've got a backup camera that will allow you to see what's going on behind you at all times when backing up. There is a feature to turn on that backup camera while you're driving, and I'll be happy to show that to you when we get up into the driver's seat. Last thing up here on the side, of course, your mirrors are all fully adjustable from inside. You want to be able to see that back right corner down there and the back left corner on the other side. So make sure that you got good visibility on your mirrors. We're going to step up to the front and we'll talk a little bit more when we get up here. Okay, we're picking back up here in the front of the 31BH A-Class Pursuit. All the fluids have all been checked and topped off for your travel. Main thing that we're worried about is to make sure that you've got good windshield wipers. Those have all been checked prior to leaving. And we want to also make sure that that fluid is flowing. We do a visual check on the main window to make sure that there's no major damage. We're looking for rock chips. We're looking for any cracks in that windshield. And of course, we make notes of all that before you leave. But that's what we'll do up here on the front. We're gonna move now to the other side here and we'll pick back up. Okay, our slide out is currently all the way in. Slide outs do come out about approximately 4 feet. So we'd be coming all the way out to about here. Make sure that you got plenty of room at your campsite to be able to accommodate that slide out. No trees, no other campers, no large flagpoles of any kind. Make sure you got plenty of room for that slide out. Down below, we got a little bit of storage. We've got our drinking water hose in here, along with a water regulator that we will hook up to our city water for camping. That hose is also used for the freshwater fill to make sure that you got plenty of water on board while you're traveling. If you decide you're going to use the freshwater, you do need to turn on that water pump on the inside, and we'll show you how to do that once we get into the front panel. We've also got in here a couple of electrical cords. If by some chance you get to the RV park and they have given away your 50 amp spot, we have an adapter here that is called a dog bone. You can plug in the 50 amp right here. 50 amp is 4-prong, and that would take it down to a 30 amp. And 30 amp would be able to plug in if the campground has a 30 amp power, but you'd still be able to stay there and work off of 30 or 50 amp service, okay? We've also got in here an adapter to go from the 30 to the 50. And then we would plug into a 110 outlet. So if by some chance you're taking this unit home with you and you're going to be leaving in the morning, you could actually plug into your 110 outlet in your garage or outside your house, and that would supply enough power for the slide out to come out, turn on a few lights, and it'll keep that refrigerator, that is a fully electric refrigerator, running overnight, so that you can load it up and hit the road first thing tomorrow morning. So that'll be on here as well. All right, we're gonna move on down. That's your propane tank and your emergency shutoff valve, which is right there. If for any reason an alarm would go off on the inside, this is where you're gonna come to turn off the propane tank. And you've got a full load of propane. Only thing you'll be burning propane for would be your cooktop, your oven, your furnace, and your hot water heater. But plenty of propane for these trips. Hot water tank. This is a 5-gallon hot water tank, and the plug is in. When we put a little bit of water on board, it automatically filled this, so it is ready to go. There's really no reason to have to come out here. We turn on that hot water heater on the inside. On this particular coach, you've got two options. You've got electric and you've got propane. If you are plugging in at an RV park, I would probably recommend using the electric side to heat up the hot water. If you're not going to have electricity for any reason, or you're boondocking, that's when you would probably select the propane option. Again, about 15 minutes to heat up the hot water. Showers are really short and sweet in here because you only have about 3 to 5 minutes of hot water, and then you got to wait about 15 minutes for it to heat back up and to be able to use the hot water again. So not unlimited hot water, but you got a good amount of hot water to get you through. Okay, that's your exhaust from the furnace. If you are running the furnace, that gets hot. So make sure we're not touching that, or little ones are with you. Make sure no little ones are touching that. And then down below here, this is where we've obviously got your power cord stored. That is a 50 amp service power, and it is hardwired into the coach. We've also got in here some of the leveling blocks. Got a packet of those. There's 10 of those in there, and they are each about 1 inch to 2 inches in height. If you throw one of those underneath one of the tires, you're able to drive over it and it will level up the coach if you're not quite level. A nice, easy way to level up a coach if you just need a little something to level up the coach. Here's our dump station, and of course we've got a little outside shower here. The standard dump station, black is for toilet, gray is for your dirty water. So your dirty water is going to be your shower and your 2 sinks, your kitchen and your bathroom sink. Once we hook up the dump hose right here, then the other end would come over and go into that 90 degree that I showed you up front. That would go down into the dump station. And then once you're all hooked up, you pull the black lever here, pull it out, and that will allow everything from the toilet to run out. And then we close it like it is now, and then we open up the gray one. And the gray one, again, is just the dirty water. That'll kind of help clean everything out, and everything will be nice and clean. If you do have a hose close by, if you rinse out that dump hose is stored back here in the back bumper. I'm going to show you that next here in just a second. But if you clean that all out, that'll help keep that in good running shape for the next person. Outside shower as well, with outside lighting that turns on as well. And of course we do have what they call black tank flush. Black tank flush is operating. It's an optional use. You don't have to use that. But if you do hook up a water hose here, make sure that you've got your black tank open. That will allow all that water to come out. If you don't open up the black tank, the water's going to come out inside. You guessed it. It's going to come out in the toilet and it's going to overflow. So make sure that you have that black tank open when you're using the black tank flush. Okay? City water, that's going to be our hookup right there for the park, RV park that we're at. And again, the water regulator would go right here, and then the hose would go over to wherever you're getting your water from. Once you're hooked up to city water, everything on the inside works like a house. So it's the water pressure that's going in is what's driving the unit, and everything will work. When you flush the toilet, the water will go down into the toilet. You hop in the shower, the water will come out of the shower head, and everything just works. Freshwater tank, that's the one that you fill up on board and you store some water on board. That would be the water that you would use while you're traveling to and from your location. If you wish to use the bathroom inside, all you have to do is turn on the water pump on the inside. And again, we'll have a little section that we'll talk about that in a little bit when we get on the inside of the coach, but it's just a simple flip of the switch and you'll have your water pump that will operate that water for you, okay? I got cable hookup here. Some of your RV parks will have cable hookups and we'd be good there. Last item on this side is going to be our generator, and there's really only a couple of reasons to have to come out here. I'm going to demonstrate now on the outside why you might want to come out here to the generator. Right down here where I'm pointing are a couple of 30 amp circuit breakers, those little toggles. They are pulled forward. That is the correct position. If for any reason one or both of them pop like that, the generator will still start, but it's not going to send any power upstairs. So if you're trying to run the generator and something upstairs isn't working, the AC or some lights, you might have to come out here and check those breakers to make sure that they are set correctly. So make sure they are always pulled forward in that correct position. Way back here in the back is a little oil reserve. It's a little dipstick way back there. And oil has been checked. We've got plenty of oil in there. But it is like any small engine, it needs to have oil in there to be able to run effectively. So make sure that you've got plenty of oil. We do recommend that you check the reserve dipstick on this at about 18 to 20 hours of run time. Doesn't mean you're going to have to add any oil, but at least check it to make sure that it does have oil in it. We do supply extra oil for all of our rental customers, along with a funnel that will allow you to put oil in there should you need it. To start the RV outside, it's just a little prime button right here. We're going to hear a little trickle, or we're going to see that light. There's the light and the trickle. Count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to hit start. Okay, we're down here on the end of the unit, picking back up here with our 31BH, our Pursuit A-Class. In the bumper right here is where all of our little storage tanks that we use for our dump hose. You can either access it on this side or on the other side, but back there a little ways is our 15-foot dump hose. Okay, back here to the back, unleaded fuel, that's what you're going to be burning. And that is also the same fuel that runs your generator. So make sure you've got at least 1/4 of a tank of fuel or more. If you do run below 1/4 of a tank, the generator is not going to start. So I'm kind of one of those people that I always fill up my tank when I get to be half empty. I'm looking for a gas station to fill it up. Anytime you put fuel in this unit, grab hold of that little rubber piece and listen for that click. Want to make sure that's sealed properly so that you're not going to get a vacuum, and sometimes that gives you a warning light up on the front dash telling you that to check the engine. Typically it's just to make sure that that cap is sealed properly. Okay, we got your backup camera up top up here, so when you're backing up you'll be able to see that backup camera on the monitor, and everything else is good here. We're going to go around the other side of the unit here and pick back up. Okay, we got our storage, largest storage compartment goes back up under there. You might get a fold-up table under there, as well as a lot of storage. I do have an outside light that at night you can get in here and make sure that you've got plenty of lighting to get into the unit, but a good room for storage. Also on this one here, we've got storage as well. Right down here, if you bring your barbecue grill with you, and you have a quick connect cable for your barbecue grill, they are very specific. You can tap into that propane line and run your barbecue grill as you bring that with you. Back down here, we've got outside power that you're able to plug into the unit. And the very last item before we go inside is going to be that awning up above us. It is the #1 item that tends to be damaged the most. You have to really kind of keep an eye on it. When it's all the way out, it's about 10 to 12 feet, and there will be about a foot piece of fabric hanging down that blows in the wind. That's a good indication of maybe how windy it is also. Anything 18 miles an hour or more, I would probably just leave the awning in. It's really not worth it to damage it due to those high wind gusts. We have two rules here at Olathe Ford RV. When using your awning, if during the day you leave the RV and there's not going to be anybody here to keep an eye on the awning, just put it in before you leave. It is a fully electric awning, so there's just a button on the inside of the unit that you'll push, and that will allow that to come in and out. The last rule is in the evening, right before you go to bed, if you will bring in that awning, do not leave the awning out overnight. Storms can blow up in the middle of the night and damage your awning. So please take care of the awning and you should be in good shape. Okay, we finished everything on the 31BH on the outside. We're gonna pick back up on the inside here in just a few minutes and we'll continue this inside walk. Got a few things to talk about right inside the door here. First thing we're gonna talk about is the main battery disconnect. And you wanna leave that in the on position the whole time that you're traveling. Only reason to turn it in the off position would be when we store these units or during the winter months when we're not operating, we turn those in the off position to conserve our batteries. This button right here operates lighting that is inside the unit. I've got right there as well inside units, entry lights right above the head outside, and we've got awning lights that are operating from right here for the outside awning, so you can look cool in the campground. Okay, right below me here, underneath the step, is our house batteries. And our house batteries, they do need to charge them. There are 3 ways that you can charge this house battery. You plug it in to either 50 amp or 30 amp service, or even 110, and it's going to trickle charge these batteries over a period of time. You drive the vehicle. So if you're driving the vehicle, the alternator is also charging this battery as well. And then the third and final way to charge the battery is run the generator. If you turn on the generator and run it for a couple hours, you will actually charge up that battery. So as long as you do one of those 3 methods, you'll be good to keep your batteries charged. Hope you don't ever have to use it, but we have a fully charged emergency fire extinguisher right here, and it's all reading good and ready to go, so we're in good shape there. Before I come in, I'm going to show the screen door. We've got a screen door that can be operated, and you can close that off to keep the bugs and stuff in, but again, that would allow some fresh air to come in. And then of course on our main door here, we've got 2 locks, a deadbolt and a regular lock. So if you're leaving the unit, you can lock up one or both of those. And of course at night to lock up for safety and security purposes while you're on the inside. All right, we're gonna stop right here and we're gonna pick up on the inside. Okay, we're picking back up with our Pursuit walkthrough on the interior. Here's our main panel that operates a lot of things, and we're going to go over each and every one of them right this second. First thing before we go any farther, I'm going to open up the slide out because the slide out is currently all the way in. On the Pursuit, the main thing that you have to be aware of is that the main parking brake has to be set. And I set that a little bit ago, so we're ready to go, and we're just going to hit this button and out will go our slide out. Okay, slide out is all the way out, and now you can see we got plenty of room in this coach. Really opens up and gives you some nice room inside. You're really not going to feel claustrophobic in this unit. If you've got 4 or 6 people in here, plenty of room for everybody to move around and not be bumping into one another. So remember that slide out is going out about 4 feet. Make sure you got plenty of room to put that slide out. All right, we're going to pick back up here on the top of the panel and we'll work our way down. That blue button right there, we're going to leave that on. That is for the built-in antenna in the roof. There's nothing that you have to put up or down to operate the TVs, but that is the boost for the TVs. And so right now, you're picking up the local channels in the Kansas City market. Once you get on down the highway to your destination, you may need to go into the settings on the TV and rescan. Then you'll pick up the local channels. Again, it is a smart TV also, so if you do have a hotspot and you want to stream to it, as long as you have your passwords, you'll be able to run your Netflix, Prime, Hulu, and pick up all those important games that you might want to watch on TV. Right below here is the water pump. And currently we're going to check our fresh water. We've got a little bit of water on board, so I'm going to demonstrate here our water. And you can see when I turn on the water, there's nothing coming out. But now I'm going to turn on our water pump right here. And now you're going to see that we got water pressure and that water is running. So again, we are not hooked up to city water. We are just using that water in the fresh tank. And by turning on the water pump, it allows us to wash hands, soap and water, and of course to flush the toilet or even take a shower if one desired to do that. I'm kind of a big turn off guy when I'm not using things. So that water pump, if I'm not going to be using it throughout the day, I'm just going to turn it off so that we're not putting any more wear and tear on that unit. Over here, I got a couple options for hot water. We've got an electric option right here, and we've got LP for propane. If you're going to be camping at a campground and you're paying for electricity at the campground, I would probably turn on the blue light there for the electric side. Hot water takes about 15 minutes for it to heat up. And again, not unlimited hot water. You've only got a 5-gallon tank, but that will give you enough to take a quick shower, do some dishes, wash hands, that kind of thing. If for any reason you are not hooked up to electricity, maybe you're boondocking for the day and you're pulled alongside the Colorado River and out there enjoying Colorado, if you want hot water, you're going to have to turn on the propane side. And again, 15 minutes to heat up and you'll have hot water. Again, not unlimited, but you'll have a good 5 gallons of hot water in there. Right, down below here is the generator, and just like we did outside, the stop button is the prime. So we're going to prime it. We're going to wait for that light to come on. No light, so we'll go with 3, 2, 1 and hit start. Light did not come on. I think that's a malfunction on this unit. We're going to have my tech look at that. But you can hear the generator running. It is all up and running. And now it's clocking the hours that you are running the generator. To stop it, you just hit the stop side, and now that generator will stop. We talked earlier about your slide out, so again, slide out button is right there. Here is our thermostat. We have 2 ACs on board, one here in the main part of the coach and another one in the back bedroom. To operate the AC, of course, I have to either be plugged into 50 amp service or I have to have my generator running. We are currently hooked up to 50 amp service. So I'm gonna hit the power button and the little fan kicked on, and then there's your little snowflake. And we're gonna kick this down and you can hear that AC just kicked on in this unit. And now we've got some AC running inside. I got a light switch right here above the door entry that is operated right here. And then the last thing here on this side that we're going to talk about is my refrigerator. It is a fully electric refrigerator. And of course the light is on in it and it is up and running and it's nice and cold. The great thing about fully electric refrigerators, they only take about an hour to maybe an hour and 15 minutes to actually cool down. So unlike the older units that were gas and electric, this one cools down very quickly. While you're driving, the alternator is charging the battery and your refrigerator is running 24/7. While you're plugged in at the campground to 50 amp service or 30 amp service or even 110 at your house, it is running and charging that battery, and the battery is running the fridge and the freezer. Okay? Last item down here is our LP warning device right here. That is a little alarm that could go off. If it does, that's when you go outside to that propane tank and you turn off the propane. You give it 5 minutes to kind of calm down in here. The alarm will probably go quiet, and then turn the propane tank back on and send one person in here to check it. If the alarm goes off again, you know you probably got an LP leak. So go back and turn off the LP and then contact your 800 number for immediate service. If the alarm is not going off after that second time that you come back in, it was probably a false alarm. Some things can cause that alarm to go off because it does work off of smell. So make sure anything to do with any kind of cleaning chemical that you might have in here, any kind of bleach or anything like that, ammonia, that could set off that alarm. Also, fingernail polish remover. Again, remember, if you can smell it, that sensor is also smelling it, and it's probably gonna turn the alarm and turn the alarm off to get you out of here. Okay, here we are in the bathroom of the 31BH Pursuit A-Class RV toilet paper. That's the only type of toilet paper that you're gonna be using in this bathroom. No feminine products, no baby wipes, no army men, no nothing of that sort down that toilet. We just need RV toilet paper. You can buy this at any of our parts locations, or Walmart will sell it in the camping section. It will not be with the regular toilet paper, but make sure you're using only RV toilet paper. All of our coaches, we supply 4 rolls of RV toilet paper for your benefit. This particular toilet has got the flush buttons right here, so you just hit a flush and it will put the amount of water down into the toilet. I got a full shower here, and of course for traveling, we've got this little latch that goes over it to keep everything together, but then you need into the shower, you can open up, you got a nice upgraded shower head in this coach that operates, and of course you're only getting a short amount of hot water. We got that 5-gallon hot water tank, so if you're hooked up to the city water at the RV park, you're gonna get about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to rinse off. Then you wanna turn off that shower head to conserve your hot water. And again, soak down, shampoo, and then turn the hot water back on. You'll have about another 2 to 3 minutes to rinse thoroughly, and then you're gonna be running out of hot water. So again, make sure those showers are spread out, maybe some in the evening, some in the morning. If you run out of hot water, you need about 15 minutes for that hot water tank to fill back up and reheat, okay? Over here, you got your GFI switch in this Pursuit, and that is your main GFI switch that operates a lot of lighting and things of that nature. If that should pop, it's just like the GFI at your home. You're gonna reset that and everything would start to work. Down below here in the bedroom, I do have the main breaker panel. And so that is all of our breakers along with our 12-volt fuses. A little light will pop on right next to the fuse if it goes bad. So you won't have to hunt and peck. You'll know which fuse is bad. You'll pull that fuse out. I do have extra fuses up in the front cabinet, up over the sofa in the front area of the coach. And you pull out the bad one, pop in the new one, throw away the bad one. Everything should reset and you should be good to go. Right, here in the bedroom, we've got a remote that is always right there in that little drawer for our TV here back in the master bedroom area. Again, you're able to operate those TVs. And then up underneath the headboard here, we've got our lighting. Each person has their own light switch here. And of course on this side is a Foley closet with a hanging bar on both sides. And then down here on both sides of the bed, headboard here area, you've got USB ports for plugging in your phone at night to charge your phones, one on each side by these nightstands. All right, I'm going to reposition back here, and we'll pick back up in the bedroom area just shortly. All right, we're back here in our Pursuit. We do have a full king-size bed. Most of our beds do come with sheet protectors. Currently, I do not have a sheet protector on this bed, but if you were to rent this, we would have a king-size sheet protector over that, as well as all of our other beds typically have those. I've got an emergency exit right here, so if that front door is totally blocked and you're not able to get out of the unit in an emergency, this is the way to get out of here. You push those red handles out, and everyone goes out that window. I do have full shades that pull down for privacy or to open up to allow as much light in as possible. Good amount of storage in this unit. On this particular coach here, we have a full closet with a hanging bar area that allows you plenty of room to put a suitcase or two in there. And of course, you've got all these cabinets, drawers down below here. On this particular unit, also, I've got a little hidden storage area. That TV pulls out, and you've got a nice little concealed area back there for any of your privates or things that you don't want to be left out, so nobody can get in and take those from you. I do have another second AC unit in this coach, and of course it's right up over the bed. All we do is hit the thermostat here with the little AC unit and lower that down, and there's our AC running back here. So 2 units running off a 30 or 50 amp service. You're able to operate both ACs off of 50 amp and cool this unit down pretty easily. We do have a light switch back here that operates all of our lights. And we've got, of course, doors that are pocket doors that close off the bedroom from the bathroom and close off the main entrance here into the bedroom. We've got a couple of second bunks here that we're able to utilize for sleeping, or we've got actually another hanging bar up here. So if you have a lot of clothing that you're bringing with you and you need the extra closet space, you can hang those up. Or if you're going to be using the sleeping portion, we've got 2 bunks here. And again, both of these bunks would have sheet protectors on them. You've got emergency exits on both of these windows to be able to get out of this unit. And you've got a cover for privacy as well. Okay, we're back here with the Pursuit, and we're in the kitchen area. We're going to talk about our range and our oven area, as well as our microwave and any things here to do with the kitchen. First and foremost, this glass top does have to remain down for traveling, but again, no cooking on this. Once you get ready to use your cooktop, you're going to open that up. Okay, so on our cooktop, I currently don't have our propane on, but the process is the same. You turn on which burner you want to come on, and you use the clicker to ignite it, and then your propane would be on, of course, outside, and it would light here. The oven is a little bit different. The only thing you're going to do different on the oven is you're going to turn that over to the pilot light, and you're going to push and hold that button in, and then you're going to be looking way back up under here for that pilot light, and you're going to do multiple clicks on the pilot. Could be as many as 15 to 20 clicks to get that pilot light to heat up. Once the pilot light lights, you let go up here, and now you're going to twist that all the way up, and your oven will fire up. Max temp on this is 490, so about 15 minutes for it to heat all the way up. Okay? When we're done, off, 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 clicker can end up wherever it's at. I do have little fancy lights there, and I've got oven lights down here. On our cooktop, make sure if you've been using the cooktop that you've got it cooled down before you put that glass top back over it, so we don't crack that. And Now we've got that back down in place. We've got the extra counter space. I've got lighting here, I've got a fan, and I've got a standard microwave up here for cooking popcorn, heating up potatoes, whatever dishes you want to reheat. Good sink, cabinet storage is all good through here. We're over in the dinette area. Of course, you got able for people to sit here. You got seat belts for traveling, as well as over here on your sofa. You've got seat belts all there ready, so plenty of room for folks to travel in safety while you're driving down the road. This does make into a bed if you should need this. You pull out on this lever right underneath, and this tabletop pushes down and sits on these little wooden pieces. I've got one on each side. And then we pull our back cushions off, and these fit right in here and fill in to make that into a little short bed, okay? And again, on this side over here, we've got this jackknifes into a bed. So you just pull it up and lay it flat, and that would make into a short bed as well. And then, of course, up top, you've got your big bunk area up over the driver's seat. First and foremost, before you use that area, you're going to have some privacy curtains, and they are right here. Be sure and pull those privacy curtains around first before you drop this down. And then once you've done that, reach up here and grab this lever. And be sure and keep your hand over the top of your head. If you drop this down, this is going to fall approximately about 3 to 4 inches. So when I release it, you can see it would have hit me on the head and probably wouldn't have felt too good. So now the gas struts are holding it in place, and I'm ready now to push this down and to get to our bed. And then I just reach up in here and grab the mattress, and it pulls down. Again, you'll have that ladder outside that we showed you earlier. The ladder fits right here, allowing you to get up on here. Please make sure that where you're not climbing up on these armrests, we don't want those to snap off. So be sure and use the ladder to get somebody up into the bed. Underneath here, we do have a little netting, and this netting will attach up here and keep somebody from rolling out in the middle of the night. So if you got a young person that's sitting up here sleeping, just to keep them safe, hook up the netting, and it'll wake them up if they try to roll out. To push the bed back up when we're done the next morning, we're just going to push that up, and now we're going to pull the bed up, and all we're listening for is the click to make sure that it's up and locked in position. Sometimes you have to come over here and pull that handle, and now it's in good shape and we don't have to worry about it falling down. All right, here we are in the driver's seat of the Pursuit, the 31BH. First thing and foremost, down on the left side underneath the little flap is a little arm, and if I push that forward, back from me, it allows me to adjust the seat forward and backwards. For my long legs, I'm going to push it all the way back and give me plenty of room. On the right side, down below here, is another little arm, and it's located right here. And when I pull that back, this allows these seats to swivel. So once I get to my destination, if I want to turn these seats all the way back, the passenger seat and the driver's seat, so that I can join the conversation with folks back here or watch TV, I can flip these chairs all the way back. So that makes it really nice once you get to your destination. On my key ring, I've got an ignition key. I've got 2 gold keys, which are my door keys, my deadbolt, and my regular lock. I've got a black key that operates that front engine compartment up front. And I've got a silver key, a 751, and a regular kind of a grayish white key. Those are both for outside storage. So we're going to go ahead and power up this unit and get everything to come to life. All right, first thing down here on the unit, I'm just warming up the old AC here and getting it going. We've got some AC now blowing out, which will help keep this unit cool. Again, for most people, if you angle these vents up over the top of you, it's going to cool this area where you and the passenger are riding, and it will actually cool this area right behind you a little bit. But again, like all of our units, this unit has got 2 additional ACs on it. So if at any time you need some extra AC to help keep people comfortable in the back, you can start the generator from right here. You turn on your generator, let it run for about 5 minutes, and then have somebody go back to the AC thermostat and turn on the AC, and now you'll have more AC to keep everybody comfortable. I also, while we're on this panel, I do have auxiliary start. If for some reason when you try to start the vehicle and you hear that dreaded drrrr, sounds like your battery is probably dead up in the chassis, we're going to need to push this button and hold it and then restart the engine. It's going to pull from our secondary house battery back in the back and will allow us to get the engine started. And then obviously at some point you're going to need to make a call to the 800 number to let somebody know that the chassis battery is probably dead. They will make arrangements to either hook up with you. If you're en route to getting back to our location, just get the unit back here and be sure and tell us that you think the chassis battery is dead, and then we'll switch it out. Everything on the AC and your heat is all controlled right here like any unit. I got plenty of USBs on board. I got a USB there, I got a USB here, I got a USB here, as well as a 12 volt plug-in here and another 12 volt plug-in over here. So plenty of USBs. For our touch panel, my home button is right here. And on this first screen, it gives me my radio options. We do have a Cirrus option, but currently no Cirrus is operating. I've got Android Auto and CarPlay. So if you plug in your phone right here and you're using your phone for navigation, once you're hooked into either one of the Android Auto or the CarPlay, it'll throw your navigation up on the screen. The second screen over here is your Bluetooth phone, Bluetooth audio, and of course we got an option to turn on that backup camera. If I hit that, now I can see on my monitor my view of my rear camera. That's going to stay on the whole time I'm traveling. It's a nice feature to be able to see who's right behind you. And anytime I turn off the key, it's going to turn that feature off. And so then I would have to come back into the home button if I wanted that back on and turn on the camera again. And again, it'll come back up. All my functions for my data sharing screen up here on the main dash are all controlled right here on my OK up and down arrows. This coach has currently got a full tank of gas, and we are 457 miles till empty. I do have standard cruise. It is not active cruise, it is standard cruise on this coach. So whatever you're comfortable with there with your cruise, you're able to do that. Down underneath that steering wheel, I do have a lever that will allow me to adjust my steering wheel as well. And then on my left turn signal over here, I've got my windshield wipers that I can check my windshield wipers. And of course, if I push the button in, there's my fluid. We always check all of those on all of our rentals to make sure our customers have got full fluids and that the windshield wipers are working before they depart. Down here on the left side of me, I've got the main lighting section that controls the front lights on the unit. When I have it over here to the B, to the light bulb, that is auto feature. If I click it back one notch, my green light comes on my front dash telling me that I do have headlights on currently. Over here on the left is my adjustment for my mirrors. Now currently my slide out is all the way out. so I'm not ever able to adjust that mirror. But I'm going to take a quick peek at my right mirror, and if I want to adjust that, I could adjust that from here as well. The red button up above would be for cold weather camping, and that's a heater inside of those mirrors. Okay. Last feature over here before we end this walk, I just want to talk briefly about driving the unit. The normal height on this unit is 13 feet to the top of the AC shroud. So you want to be very careful. Anything 13 feet and under, do not go under it if it's a bridge. Look for low-hanging tree limbs, things of that nature. You are sitting up a little bit higher, and so you want to make sure that you've got good visibility to see everything out here in front of you. Thanks for watching our video today from our Pursuit 31BH, part of our rental department here at Olathe Ford RV in Gardner, Kansas. Thanks for watching.